Can you guess what's damp, horrible and mouldy? Welcome to CarSpyTV. Yes, that's right, it's the Ford Mondeo that's damp, horrible and mouldy, so let's see what we can do about it. Look at the state of the seatbelt, plenty of mould there. There's a little bit on the steering wheel as well, so we need to kill that lot with vinegar. First though, look, the whole car is full of condensation, which isn't helping the mould situation, but rather than remove it with a cloth, let's be fancy and try one of these window vacs. Why not? We normally use this thing in the house because there are certain windows that condensate the moment you look through them. Still, it should work in the car as well. What do you reckon? We may as well have a go. Oh yeah. That worked very nicely, and look how much water we caught over all the windows. Quite a bit. So pop that down there and water the weeds. There we are. I've got a horrible feeling my mobile phone is on its last legs, and I could really do without the expense of buying a new one because they're not cheap these days, particularly if you want a decent camera for, I don't know, making YouTube videos. Anyway, let's kill the mould on the seatbelt. And to kill that mould, we're going to attack it with a combination of water, which we have in this squirty bottle, plus the magic ingredient, which is vinegar. So we need a decently strong mix of vinegar here. I would say about 50-50. That's probably a bit more, but never mind, it will do. Put the squirty liddy thing in. God, that vinegar smells strong. Mind you, it smells a lot more pleasant than the mould. As we're dealing with mould, I suppose we should be sensible and put a mask on. I hate wearing these things. Can you still hear me okay? Yes? Good. So let's spray down the mouldy seatbelt with our magic combination of vinegar and water, and then we'll give it a good scrub. Speaking of mobile phones, the first one I ever bought was only 50 or 60 pounds, and for its day that was considered a decent phone. And then a couple of years later, once technology had moved on, I upgraded it, and that one only cost me £10. But now they're ferociously expensive. I know someone who bought one a few months ago and paid £1,500. Horrible. I'd never spend that. I'd probably drop it on the first day and wreck it. The steering wheel is going slightly mouldy as well. Mostly in the middle here, but also all around this inner edge. So we need to get rid of that before it really becomes serious. It's amazing how quickly mould can take over a car. It can go from being not too bad to everywhere in just a few days. What do you reckon? Better? While we're here, let's check the front passenger seatbelt as well. Can you see any mould? I can't. It does feel slightly damp though. Yeah, look, it's wet there. Do you think that's just condensation, or do you think we have a leak around here somewhere? Not sure. Okay. This is pretty gross as well in there. It's not mouldy, it just needs a clean. That's not supposed to be like that. So while we have the cleaning things out, let's give that a quick go as well. I wasn't planning on doing this today. My plan was to tinker with the Nissan Primera, which is parked over there. There's nothing wrong with it, but I was going to do a few routine checks just to make sure. things like the condition of the battery, filters, fluid levels, tyres, all those good things. But that's going to have to wait until tomorrow at the earliest. Maybe the day after. Or maybe the day after that. Don't know yet. There we are, that's nice and clean. And I was just going to slide it straight back in there, but we can't do that yet. Just look at the state of the ashtray. Absolutely disgusting. So we need to deal with that as well, which means removing these power cables. So I need 2 hands for that. So if I put the camera down there, can you see what's going on? I hope so. And hopefully these cables will just pull off without much of a fuss. That one has. And that one has as well. Right, need a hazmat suit to deal with that. It's time to bring out the big guns now. Compressed air. This will sort it out. Sort of. There we go. This area is now clean and reinstalled. Furthermore, all the seatbelts in the car have had a good squirt of vinegar to discourage any mould, and they're all extended and stretching around so they can dry out. And to that end, we're going to open up all the doors and all the windows to get some airflow in here. There we are, one ventilating Ford Mondeo, looking a lot better than it was. And while we're here, we should check there are no mould issues with the other cars, starting with that one. This is a Nissan Micra, in case you've forgotten. And there are no mould issues in here. It smells nice, it looks nice, and it feels dry, which is good. It is a little messy though, this thing. Well, that shouldn't be in there. That's the parcel shelf for the Nissan Primera, but we took that out because we've been using the Primera as a van to transport furniture. So that can go back into the big car. See, loads of space in there for furniture. It's amazing what fits in this car. Right. Corsa. Let's have a look together then. Can you see any mould in here? Can you smell anything? Does it feel damp? No, this one's fine, which is good news. It is rather full though, mostly of bits of Ford Mondeo. This, for example, is a large piece of boot trim. That is the front passenger seat. That is the back support for the rear seat. And that thing down there, which I can't quite reach, that thing there is the battery box. That's not Ford Mondeo. Must have a tidy up. So that's it, but before you go, don't forget to subscribe to CarSpyTV. That makes it easier to find my other content. Can you also please do me a favour and click like on this video, and I'll see you next time in whichever car goes mouldy next. Bye-bye.